everyone, and welcome to today's Chrissy B Show. So on today's episode, we have a very special interview courtesy of Global Woman with Kim Kiyosaki. Kim is a famous American author and businesswoman and is on the list of self-made millionaire women in the world. Today, you'll be learning that for your business to be successful, it isn't just enough to want to make money. Find out what else you need later on. We also speak to our resident psychologist, Dr Audrey Tang, who'll be speaking about how financial success can lead to good mental well-being. And news correspondent Helena Chard brings you positive reports in this week's A Helping of Happy. We then go to Dr Rob Hicks, who'll be giving his advice on self-care tips to help us keep fit, strong and healthy. And our declutter expert, Sally Walford, is back to talk about wardrobes and the hanger test, a great way to declutter our wardrobe, and also how to organise handbags. Gabriella De Mora will be showing us how to use a simple white t-shirt to put together a great outfit. And Audrey Tang and her dog Brandy will teach us all about recycling and even how to make eco bottles and how to use them in this week's Test the Trend. So let's go to our very first guest, Kim Kiyosaki, interviewed here by Global Woman founder Mirella Sulla.
Hello everyone, my name is Mirella Sulla and this is a show for Chrissy B Show. And today I have a very special guest who traveled from United States, quite famous all around the world, Kim Kiyosaki, the founder of Rich Women, an entrepreneur, an inspirational woman that is giving such a good contribution, big contribution for us women that we really need to get that financial power. What are the needs of women entrepreneurs?
Oh, huge. Okay, so right now the world, if you look at the global world, it's in a bit of a mess, financially, economically, morally, and I think right now the need for women to step up, the need for female energy, the female mindset, their female perceptives of the world is crucial. It's crucial, and right now I encourage women entrepreneurs to really, not to stay small, but to really get out there and grow. Because I feel like the solution to a lot of economic problems, especially in the US, to the economic problems in the US, is for more entrepreneurs to come forward. Because there's been an awful lot of greed, and mostly greed of corporations, Wall Street, stock markets, and right now we need to get back to what I call conscious capitalism, conscious business, where business...
It's the reality that we have created, now how we deal with it.
Yes, now how do we deal with it? So if we can get more people building businesses for not just social good, but to solve the problems. The purpose of a business is to solve a problem. So let's get out there and start solving the problems that are needed today, and not just about putting money in your pocket.
Exactly.
Because if your purpose to start a business is to make money, then it's not going to last very long. But if you have a purpose that really is going to help and contribute to society, then that can sustain.
And I believe, to be honest, I'm not biased here, but from also my experience and also seeing what you're doing with your work, if we manage to empower ourselves financially and create that budget, that financial budget, then women are those who know what to do with that budget for the good of the world.
Yes.
And that's why probably it's the time for us as women to increase the ability to earn, make money, not because we want the money per se, but we want the money to invest this money back to the world.
Yes, I'm a huge advocate for women getting financially educated to take care of themselves, not just to manage their money, but to grow their money, just as you say, so they can invest it back into society. They can invest it back into the problems of society, whether it be their community, their city, their country, or globally. Because I think women are, they are in general nurturers. They want to take care of people, and right now the planet needs a lot of taking care of. And I think it's up to us women to solve a lot of these problems. And there's actually proof, okay? They did a study in the US of the Fortune 500 companies, and they found that the companies with women on the boards or in executive positions outperformed those that did not have women. So not only is it good for social reasons, it's also good from the bottom line. that women in business contribute to the bottom line. So I think this diversity of having not just women, but different cultures, different races within a business brings different perspectives into the business and makes it a more effective, more dynamic company.
Yeah.
So I just see right now, I feel this is women's time to really rise up.
Absolutely.
And to
It
make
never has
stand.
been a better
Never
time
a
than
better
now.
time. Never a better time.
It looks like the whole world is concentrating the energy and investing more time to listen to women's
Yes.
problems and concerns and challenges. And we started with a Me Too campaign,
Right.
but now it's not just that is only the beginning,
No.
but behind that there are a lot of other things that women can campaign
Yes.
as well. And
Yes.
one of the biggest campaign for me, especially from my experience working with women who have been suffering domestic violence, is absolutely making them be free from and make them help themselves for having that financial freedom.
Yeah, I've seen the most successful entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs. And again, I think right now with the internet, any woman right now could start a business today. She could be a stay-at-home
Yeah.
mom and she could start a
All
business
you
on the
need is a
internet.
computer and internet.
A computer, yes. And we're also, the purpose of an entrepreneur is to solve problems. And there's so many problems to be solved. And I know a lot of women right now with very successful businesses because they're solving problems, whatever that problem may be. Pick a problem, they're out there. There's
Yes,
thousands
yes.
of them.
And we are always problem solvers.
Yes.
We always have a solution for everything.
Yes.
But we are not that good to putting a price when we solve.
Oh,
the problem.
sometimes, yes. Sometimes, the hardest thing, the best thing for the number one skill for an entrepreneur is to be able to sell, because sales will bring in income. The hardest thing, especially for a woman, is to sell herself.
Yes.
And if you're an entrepreneur, you have got to learn to sell
Yes.
yourself.
How can we have a business if you don't make transactions?
Right. So you can't apologize for your price. You cannot apologize for making money, because if you really have a mission and you have a product or service that you think is going to make a difference in the world, and if you're not profitable, nobody's going to hear about you.
Exactly.
Your business is going to go
Yes.
nowhere. So it's your responsibility, if you feel you have a product or service that's going to really make a difference and help people, you've got a responsibility to make it successful and make it profitable.
And do you have some tips or advice that you could give to women? I know, number one, you're going to say passion. Do what you're passionate about.
You got to do what you're passionate
So,
about.
Give us some tips. So once we discover that passion.
Yes.
What
Well,
is next step?
and that's the first step. The first step is to discover the mission. Why do you want to be in business? What's the reason for you wanting to be in business? What problem are you trying to solve? What is it that you really want to make a difference in? There's got to be that something bigger than making money. If it's just about making money, you're going to quit when it gets tough. Because as an entrepreneur, you're going to have ups and downs. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to fail. You're going to have setbacks. If you don't have a strong enough reason why you're in business or that mission that's behind, you're going to quit. So you've got to get that mission. And then number two, I always say if you're starting out, start small. Just start small.
Yes.
If you're an employee right now and you have a full-time
Think
job,
big, but
think
start
big,
small.
but start small. Yes, take those baby steps. You can start in your spare time. And women go, oh, I don't have spare time. I don't have spare time. We all have spare time. If you look at how often you watch TV or you play video games
absolutely.
or things that you're doing, there's always
How
spare
do we
time.
use the time?
Yes, that's the number one question.
Well, to be honest, women are busy.
We have a
We
lot
have
of
a lot of
roles.
hats.
Yes, we
Yeah.
wear a lot of hats.
But yes, important is manage your time wisely. Another tip?
Another tip I would say is to understand the numbers. You got to know the numbers. And so many women.
That is a big challenge. You
Yes.
have hit to the problem.
Yeah, and I hear it all the time. Women say, my eyes glaze over. Oh, I'm not good with numbers. I let my husband do all that. Well, you got to stop that, because that's you not taking responsibility for your financial life. So if you're starting a business, the first thing we always say, the first person you should hire is a bookkeeper, because you've got to know where you are.
I've
You've
learned
gotta
that from
know-
you.
Yes, you've got to know if you're making a profit or you're losing money. Just recently, I did with my own company, the Rich Dad Company. I went through every project, every division. Where are we making profit? Where are we not making profit? And we were working on projects that were not making money. And not only were they not making money, they weren't serving
And you
our
don't
mission.
know.
Yeah. First I look at, is it serving the mission? If it's serving the mission, I might be able to, if there's other parts of the company that's making a profit and sustaining that. But when you've got products or services that you're selling that's not making a profit, is not serving your mission, then you got to cut it and let it go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And I know there are a lot of other tips and strategies, but...
Well, I'll give you one other strategy,
okay.
one other tip. Choose the people you work with very, very carefully. And the way we choose the people we work with, partners and employees, are they aligned to your mission? Are they aligned to your values? If they are not, if they say they are, just lip service, but they're really not, do not go into business with them, because the business will be divided from day one. So the most important thing I've learned, and this is personal experience, I've learned this several times now, is to get into partnership or to bring the people that you're going to work with. Number one question is, are you truly, truly aligned to our mission? Are you truly aligned to our values? Then you have a chance of great success.
And since we are here, before we close, can we know a little bit more about your big vision and values and mission that you have for the next 100 years?
Well, our mission of the Rich Dad Company, which we came up with in 1996 when we started the company, is to elevate the financial well-being of humanity. And the problem we set out to solve was that there was no financial education in the school system worldwide. So our mission was to educate the masses about money. That's never changed. That's not going to change. So we're going to continue to do that. Have we fulfilled our mission? We've made a dent in it, but there's thousands, millions and millions of people out there that have never heard about us. There's millions of people that are struggling financially, and our mission is to elevate them to a place where they're not in struggle, they're not in poverty, that they're taking care of themselves financially, because it's really all about personal responsibility. Too many people are depending upon the government to take care of them, and the governments cannot sustain that.
Yeah.
And taking personal responsibility for your finances, for yourself, to be able to financially take care of yourself, even if it's, small amounts of money, as long as you can survive and thrive on that, that's what we're about.
That's incredible. And Kim Kiyosaki, thank you very much
Thank you,
for
Marilla.
sharing your wisdom and knowledge with us. So much needed for women, and with you, women like you, we definitely can change the world.
Yes, we can.
Thank you very much to Kim and Mirella there. So after the break, we speak to our resident psychologist, Dr. Audrey Tang, who'll be speaking about how real financial success can lead to good mental well-being. And news correspondent Helena Chard brings you positive reports in this week's A Helping of Happy. Welcome back to today's Chrissy B Show, everybody. So now it's time for Psychology Matters with Dr. Audrey Tang. Lovely to have you back in the studio, Audrey.
Thanks for having me.
So earlier we saw an interview with Kim Kiyosaki, and she was saying that for a business to be successful, you need to actually solve a problem, but also give back to your community in some way. What are your thoughts about that?
Oh, absolutely, fully in agreement with this. This is actually what the essence of corporate social responsibility, CSR, is about. A lot of people think it's about being green, looking after the climate, which of course is incredibly important, but it is also about supporting your community, supporting your local network, and continuing to generate that interest and that talent within your area. A lovely example of this comes from Bradford University. They are really proud of this. They have huge community links, because what they've noticed is a lot of the students, a lot of the young people who live in the town, they don't really want to leave Bradford. So they go to the university, they're educated there, but because they've got such good links with the businesses in the community, they keep the talent, they keep the brains within the city, and that's fantastic. But there is a word of warning of this. It's great to support local businesses, and it's wonderful if you've got a contract, you want to go somewhere local and get them to supply it. But make sure the local business has the infrastructure and has the ability and the technical tools to be able to fulfill that contract. It's all very well saying, oh yeah, we want to build a whole new wing on this particular building, let's go give it to a local company. But if they don't have the manpower or the ability, that's really hard. So part of that corporate social responsibility, part of that giving back to the community, it's not just financial, it can be training people up, it can be nurturing them, mentoring them, and giving them the support so that they can fulfill those contracts later on.
Definitely. And can you also explain the link between finances and mental health?
Yes. When people have money or sometimes come into a little bit more money, they do tend to report a much greater peace of mind.
Everyone wants more money, don't they?
Of course, of course. But with that, it's wise to know what you're going to do with it, because it can be very easy to start doing things like gambling it or spending it on things that you don't really want to spend it on. So one piece of research has found that if you spend it on life experiences, that seems to give a positive feeling. Similarly, giving a certain amount to charity, not more than you can afford, so make sure you are comfortable yourself. There also has been research showing the flip side, in that now young people, they go into university with a great deal of debt and come out with that burden on them. And if their parents have funded them, they're again feeling, oh, I owe bank of mum and dad as well now. And then there is that sense of obligation of, if my parents have paid for me, do I now need to do exactly what they want me to do? Also, the other problem for young people today is 0 hours contracts. This is something which is probably too political for this segment, but it's something which is causing a lot of anxiety, because on a 0 hours contract, you turn up, you don't know whether you're going to get work, and if you don't get work, you don't get paid. And that's really hard, because if you're relying on that money, even though you're told not to rely on that money,
but you still do, don't
need
you?
to budget
so much uncertainty.
That's it. And then if you're raising a family, if you're supporting others as well, you then end up in that situation of, well, do I max out my credit card? Then do you get into debt? When you're in debt, could you then borrow from somebody? Well, what if they're struggling too? Or what if you've already borrowed enough? Then loan sharks, the proverbial loan sharks, which becomes very dangerous territory, really high interest rates for payday loans, those sorts of things. You end up getting that spiral of debt, into that spiral of debt even worse. And then it becomes a case of, you get the threats of the bailiffs at your door. The depression, the anxiety that can cause is horrendous. And sadly, there have been more suicides related to being in debt. And also, if then debt spirals you into homelessness, you no longer have an address from which you can access services, from which you can have correspondence. It becomes very difficult, very painful to get out of. However, there is a wonderful charity out there. It's called Step Change, and that one does help you manage your finances. It also helps you get back on your feet in the way that you can manage, and it's not about borrowing from any strange sources. So it's one of those things where, don't get yourself into more debt to try and make yourself feel better for being in debt. That's one important thing. Manage your money carefully. Try and maybe have things like shopping lists, maybe take out money and then spend that rather than handing a card over. That's a lot easier for a lot of people. And a little bit of advice from my dad was, never loan anyone anything that you can't afford to give them, because otherwise you could ruin a friendship when it becomes a case of you getting it all back again.
Great advice. Audrey, thank you so much, my love, and we'll see you again soon.
Yes.
Thank you. So everybody, now it's time to go to Helena Chard for this week's A Helping of Happy. So Helena, what do you have for the news?
I've got lots of lovely stories. So beginning with Mimi Beards, she, to me, is really inspirational young lady, and she has really strived to improve her life. She was homeless at 16. She moved into a shelter where there were lots of men and older people. She was the youngest, and they were taking drugs and various things. She was relying on food banks and studying by candlelight, so she was trying to be really disciplined, and they were like taking the mickey and, you know, why don't you join us? For 2 years she felt quite lost, was really struggling, didn't have too much of direction because she'd had a turbulent upbringing, you know, various things, social workers, counsellors. At 19 she took an overdose on prescription drugs. It was in a coma, but got through it. She feels so lucky to have woken up and drew a line in the sand, and knew she had to turn things around. She gave it her all, and a tech company called HI9 or Hi9 had been going to the shelter to give advice and saw something really special in her. So they took her under their wing, which is great. And she really owes everything to them because she feels they're the reason why she's there. But I think she was very strong anyway.
Yeah, she had that determination.
Yeah, she had that determination because while she was trying to look after herself, all her fellow people at college, they were, going out, socialising, and she was trying to, eat.
Yeah, wow.
Which is like one of those things. But she's now, she got good A-level results.
Oh, amazing.
She's with an accountancy firm in Cornwall doing an apprenticeship which she's about to finish, and she's actually going to then be working full-time with them next year. So she's done so well. And she hopes that her situation will inspire people that if you work hard, you can really get through difficult situations. So she wants to be the voice to help them. So congratulations to her.
Congratulations, definitely.
And I am going to go, yes, we have time for this story, which I really love. So the Los Angeles Police Department took a lovely little video of a young lady called, or middle-aged lady, I suppose, Emily Zamurka, who's 52. And it was a clip of her singing on the tube, not on the tube, on the underground. Mm-hmm. She, unfortunately, has recently become homeless. So she was there with all her baggage and everything. But she's become this overnight sensation because his clip's gone viral. She was singing Puccini's O mio babino caro. I think I've said that right. She's a classically trained musician, moved from the US, from Russia more than 20 years ago. Homeless now, she fell ill, racked up loads of debt, and then on top of it, her violin was stolen, which is that way she made her money. But so much positivity has happened. I mean, just in that one video, and it just goes to show people can be so kind, and it's amazing how you can one minute be down and then be completely up high. She's been offered a recording contract.
Oh, wow.
Loads of people have set up, crowdfunding pages just because they're so inspired by how amazing she is. That she doesn't really need handouts, she just needs a hand up, which is amazing. And she's now been given all this money with help with her housing, and I mean, she's so thankful. So it just showed, never to give up, because look what's around the corner.
And you see, Helena, with both two of the stories there, the person wasn't just sitting around feeling sorry for themselves. They actually did something. They were trying what little they had. They did something with that small stuff that they had, and look what happened for both of them.
I know. Amazing stories. So inspirational.
Yes. Thank you so much, Helena. We'll see you again next time. Thank you. Okay, everybody, so after the break, we have on Dr. Rob Hicks, who'll be giving his advice on self-care tips for both men and women to keep fit, strong and healthy. And our declutter expert, Sally Walford, is back to talk about our wardrobes, and she's going to be talking about the hanger test, which is a great way to actually get decluttering. And she's also going to be showing us how to organize handbags. Hi, I'm Chrissy B, host of the UK's only TV programme dedicated to mental health and well-being, The Chrissy B Show, which airs on MyTV Sky 191 every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. Follow our social media on YouTube, Instagram and Twitter at Chrissy B Show, and our Facebook page, The Chrissy B Show. For more information, visit chrissybshow.tv. Welcome back to the Chrissy B Show, everybody. So now it's time to get some self-care tips for men and women with Dr. Rob Hicks. Rob, are you ready to help our viewers?
I am very ready to do some self-care.
Wonderful. Some routines for us, you think that we're good for?
Well, I think the first thing to do is keep an eye on your weight. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that doesn't necessarily always mean jumping on the scales. I mean, I remember working for a doctor who said, if you stand in front of the mirror and you think you're carrying a bit too much extra weight, you probably are. So that's But on a serious point, having too much weight not only puts pressure on the joints, it does put pressure on the heart, and it increases the risk of type 2 diabetes as well. So maybe, once a month, get on the scales and just,
don't obsess over it, but once a month.
Yeah, and try and work out your BMI, your body mass index. You do that with your height and your weight. So you take your weight in kilograms and divide that by your height in meters, and then divide that again by your height in meters. And basically, if you're 25 or over, you're overweight, or if you're over 30, you're obese. So, so keep an eye on the weight. Keep an eye on moles. And for men, keep an eye on testicles, and for women, keep an eye on the breasts. So bottom line with those things, you want to know what's normal for you, and you're looking for changes. So for men, you know, and for women with breast awareness, maybe once a month, check them just to make sure that everything is as it should be. And if you're not sure what's normal, get your doctor to examine you so you know as a baseline what's normal for you as an individual.
Yeah. Are there any videos maybe on the NHS website?
There are lots of videos available where it'll show people how to check women, how to check their breasts, men how to check their testicles. The other thing, lifestyle, 10,000 steps a day, keeping active, not smoking, and drinking alcohol only in moderation. So in the UK, it's no more than 14 units a week for men and women. And then, of course, you know, from an emotional point of view, make sure you get enough sleep, and also that you take regular breaks to relax. And you know, my motto is, you know, 5 minutes every hour to relax and unwind, and doing at least 30 minutes a day of something that you enjoy. So those are all things you could do yourself. Then there's things you might have to step outside of your home to do. So have your blood pressure checked, and that should be at least every 5 years, unless you're advised to have it more frequently. Get your teeth checked with a dentist, at least every two years, unless you're advised more frequently. And get your eyes tested. Because it's not just about vision. Sometimes the optometrist can detect things at the back of the eye that indicate that you might have high blood pressure or diabetes or other eye conditions. Then there's things that you might want to consult the doctor for the NHS for. So there's the cardiovascular, that's the heart and circulation risk assessment that everybody, you know, between 40 and 74 is invited to have.
Do you get called in for that? Or
you do, but if you don't, give them a call and make the appointment. And then, of course, take up the opportunity of any screening tests. So for women, cervical smear tests, mammograms for detecting breast cancer, and for men and women, bowel cancer screening tests as well. And really, to summarise, you know, if there's anything that's of concern, and I know we've said this time and time again, don't ignore it. Get it checked out.
So Rob, just a question before you go. If you have a family history of a certain condition, can you ask for a test, even if there's nothing, or you think there's nothing wrong, but just as a precaution?
Yes, you can. I mean, there might be high cholesterol in your family, for example, or there might be diabetes in your family. So yes, you can ask the doctor to be tested for those, because often, you know, you could also have high cholesterol or you could also have diabetes, but as yet it hasn't manifested. So, you know, the sooner you would make the diagnosis of those conditions and get them treated, the better.
Wonderful. Dr. Rob Hicks, thank you so much, and we'll see you again next time.
You will indeed.
Thank you. So now, everybody, it's time for our declutter expert advice by Sally Walford, and she's back to talk about the wardrobes and hanger test, a great way to declutter our wardrobes, and also how to organise handbags.
Hello everyone, I'm Sally Walford and the declutter expert on the Chrissy B Show, and today I'm going to be showing you some really easy, simple ways to organise your wardrobe and your handbags. So why is organising your handbags and wardrobe essential? Well, firstly, it's going to save you loads of time during the morning. No running around panicking, can't find your keys, and also that jacket that you really need to wear. Not just that, it's going to help you feel really focused and ready to start the day. So, what do you do when you're looking at how to organise a handbag? I've got some handbags with me, and I think one of the answers is pretty simple for you. So, here we go. Yeah. I think you can probably work out this one. It's really important to decide what type of bag you want. And just remember, in my opinion as well, the bigger the bag, the bigger chance there is that you're going to clutter up your handbags. And not just that, this is going to be really bad for your back. So we're going to be looking at what do you essentially need in the morning and what perhaps you can leave behind. So this, to me, although oversized bags are quite popular, I would probably use this as an away bag or just a weekend away bag, and certainly wouldn't be taking this into the office with me. So I think I'd probably reconsider that one. Now, satchels and bags that are of a similar kind of thing are very easy to overfill, and this is to do with work clutter. Be careful of what you put in similar type handbags to this one. I'm talking about laptops, folders and files. They can get all squashed in, and again, this is going to be really weighing down on you. favourite option is to get yourself a small bag which is going to have some inside pockets and also some pockets on the outside, so you can organise your things better. But before we have a look at those little organisational things, I just want to show you some of the things we're all probably a bit guilty of finding inside our handbags. So, how about those tangled up chargers, bits of paper or serviettes, maybe sweet wrappers, or even maybe chewing gums or mint wrappers at the bottom, and any sort of empty cans or toiletries you might find. All of these things you might find scuttling around in your handbag. So my top tip is to make sure that you declutter your handbag every time you get in of an evening. It's going to really make a difference to help organise that handbag. So we're going to get rid of all of that. And I'm just going to show you a few little things that I've got that can make your life easier. So firstly, if I just show you in here, I've actually got a handbag that has lots of different pockets. So I therefore have a place for everything. That's a place for my phone, a place for my keys. But I want to show you these lovely little things here. I don't know if you've ever seen one of these. These are fantastic, and these are for people that find it very difficult or keep losing their cards. So this actually pulls out and back in again, and inside is actually my card. So I put it inside, okay? And you can pop it in like that, click, and with this it can then connect to the inside of your handbag, so you're never going to be losing that, and you can use it for your contactless as well. And I know this might sound simple, but keys, again, different coloured key rings for different types of keys. These are my house keys. Again, they're going on the hook inside. And then I have my car keys on a different colour. I find that colour coordination really helps you, and this is going to help you feel focused in the morning. Let's pop these handbags away. Okay. Here we go. So moving on to clothes now. I love an organised wardrobe, and this is the greatest time to start doing that. We're changing seasons, we're getting ready to put away all of our lightweight wear, and we're getting out all of our winter clothes and also our coats. So what better time to organise your wardrobe? So before I show you a few little tricks, let's just have a look at this before photo. So as you can see, it's really easy to get into a dumping ground scenario in your bedroom, particularly with clothes. If you're running busy lives and you're having to go to work and then you're having to go out, or you're having to get changed about 5 different times because you've got the kids or you've got different sports. So just be really aware of that, and also be kind to yourself. We've got to start somewhere. So I did this is the after photo. So as you can see, this is applying a couple of my tips, which I'm going to show you in a minute. But already I feel calm, not chaotic. So that's already a big plus, so that you can find something in the morning. And another little demonstration here is just of how we can also organise in particular items, which can work quite well for some people, either colours or just making sure that the same item is grouped together, which is exactly what I've done in this particular wardrobe. So as you can see, all the shirts together, all the jeans are together, we've got colourful jumpers, etc. And as you can see, that can work really well. And visually, in the morning, my client can certainly find where his shirt trousers are. And if we just have another little look, and again here, same here with the suit jackets, and also with the drawers underneath as well. So we had everything that my client required for office wear in this particular wardrobe. And then here is casual wardrobe. Again, categorizing really makes a difference for you being able to find whatever you need. So, I said I was going to share with you a few top tips, and so here they are. This is how I keep on top of my wardrobe. So, we have lots of different colours here, and I'm just going to show you quickly, visually, how quickly this can make you see what you have by just putting all of the same colours together already can make it easier on the eye. There we go. So I think that works incredibly well. But the other thing, how do we know what it is that we're wearing and what we're not wearing? Well, here we go. It's the 80-20 rule. You're only wearing 20% of your wardrobe 80% of the time, and that's really true. So how do we know how to do that? How we find out that 20%? Here's the top tip. Every time you wash and you wear an item of clothing, we're going to put this back into the wardrobe facing the opposite way. So you see, if you can notice, the hanger is facing the opposite way. Fine. So for example, imagine that we've worn this. I can guarantee you, even within a week, you're going to know what you're wearing and what you're not wearing. So therefore, we can find it easier to declutter all of our clothes and keep on top of our wardrobes. There you go, some great top tips. And that's all I've got time for, so and it's back to you, Chrissy.
Thank you very much to Sally. So after the break, we have Gabriella De Mora, who'll be showing us how to use a simple white t-shirt to put together a great outfit. And Audrey and her dog Brandy will teach us all about recycling and even how to make eco bottles and how to use them in this week's Test the Trend. Welcome back to today's Chrissy B Show, everybody. So now it's time to dress up and never give up with Gabriella De Mora.
Hello everyone, I'm Gabriella and I'm here on Chrissy B Show today to show you a really nice and easy look. Do you have some t-shirts? White t-shirt or plain t-shirt or a t-shirt with a saying on it, colorful? So take all the t-shirts you have and let's try some outfit. And also, do you know those trousers or that skirt that you say, no, this one I'm just gonna wear for a special occasion. So take both of them and let's match. Let's make a mix and make your look really nice and interesting. As this one, this skirt I would wear just on a special occasion because it's like a long skirt. But then I matching with my super basic t-shirt. A white t-shirt always saves me. And then I accessorize with this belt and something on the hair. I really love now this hair accessories. I have in many colors. And then you can accessorize. I'm wearing heels right now. And you can really match this both basic and something more, for a special occasion. That's what I want to tell you. Make every day a special occasion. You never know. You never know what's on your way, especially if you're looking for a job, for an interview. If you receive a call, you're already ready. Not so much, not so less. Carry heels in your bag because opportunity is always there. So you're always ready for everything. So you could be wearing with flats, ballerinas, sneakers, and you could carry your heels in the bag because if you have something to do during the day, even in the night, you just can put the heels and you're ready. Okay, so this is the tip for today. The basic and not so basic, match, mix with both of them and you're ready. Okay, I hope you have liked the tip. And if you like, send us the picture. We can post on the Chrissy B Show Instagram, on my Instagram as well. And we're gonna love to be inspired by you as well. Okay, dress up and never give up. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much to Gabriella there. So now it's time for Audrey Tang and her dog Brandy to teach us all about recycling and even how to make eco bottles, also showing us how to use them in this week's Test the Trend.
This week we're going to look at recycling. Recycling is one of the most important things for the environment at the moment, purely because with the population growing, we're producing more waste, there's more things being packaged in plastic, and therefore it's really important to try and stop as much pollution as we can. The landfill sites are getting more and more filled up, and that produces more and more pollution as well. Now, we've had a look at the waste that we take out, and this would be our normal rubbish. There's about 3 pounds of rubbish in there. This is the food waste, that's organic, so that will be recycled in the food bin, and then this is our recycling. What we're going to try and do is, if we can, live without as much of this as possible and really work on making sure everything goes into recycling. And now Brandy is going to help my husband take the bins out. And there's a fun fact, that happens to be the one job that most people say is the husband's role. Most homes will have recycling bins a little bit like this, and these are collected by the council. The brown one at the back is for garden waste, so if you're doing your garden, doing your lawns over the summer, that's a great place to put everything. The black bin is for normal bin waste, as in sometimes things that we put in the toilet bin, maybe use tissues, that kind of stuff. And then this is the recycling bin with the blue lid. Now, we're very lucky in Northampton in that a lot of things can be recycled here. What you can do is you can check with your recycling centre, with your council, and they will give you a full list of what can be recycled and whether you need to break down cardboard boxes and the days of your recycling. Then finally, there's the food bin there. It's sitting in a blue bucket purely because that's an old bin which we used to have. We used to have to separate our plastics, our glasses and cardboard, but now we can put it all in the blue bin. But how do you tell what is recyclable? Well, cardboard, very straightforward. We know cardboard and paper can be recycled. However, if you look at the products themselves, on the bottom of them, there's usually a number stamped onto them. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7, and this has a 2. This milk carton has a 2, and that stands for plastic. So generally, the plastic is widely recyclable. The lid may not be. You might have to check with your local recycling facility whether they allow it. Checking other objects, same thing. This is a tea box, the box card, widely recycled. Another example here is tub, plastic, check local recycling, lid, plastic, check local recycling, and sleeve, plastic, not currently recyclable. Now, in terms of the sleeve, that's this little bit here, I will be showing you how to make something called an eco brick, which is going to help with our recycling, and it's something you can do with things like the sleeve. Finally, if you're really stuck, then try this plastic recycling cheat sheet, and this is downloadable courtesy of greenlivingtips.com, and there it gives you all the numbers, what they are, and you can mark off yourself whether you can place them in your recycling bin or not. I'm going to show you how to make an eco brick. An eco brick is something that you can make out of all the plastics that cannot be recycled and a plastic bottle. It can be any plastic bottle. This is a 500 millilitre one, but you can use the 1 litre, 2 litre ones as well. And what you do first of all, and all you need is in fact the bottle and some sort of poking device. I'm using a chopstick just because of the size of the bottle. Make sure the bottle's clean and put the label in it first of all. And all you're going to do is put all those wrappers that you can't recycle into this bottle. And if you need to, you can use the poking stick to help you poke them in. There we go. And here's one I made earlier. It takes loads of these unrecyclable wrappers, so don't think just because it's a small bottle you'll use them all up. All of this, I'm absolutely sure, will go in here. The one thing you've got to remember is make sure you rinse out any things like crisp packets or food packets, because you don't want too much food waste in there, because that will start to decompose. There's not a lot of oxygen in there, but what oxygen there is, it will start to change into gases and it could affect the constituency of the bottle. What you use these for, if you go onto the EcoBricks website, is you could gather lots of them together and bind them, and they can become a nice flat tabletop or a little stool to sit on, especially the bigger ones. They're absolutely lovely for that. They can also be used in the garden. They can be the base of structures if you're going to cover them in concrete, but be very, very careful. Whilst the EcoBricks site does give you ways of using these EcoBricks, insurers may not and probably will not yet insure them, because you cannot guarantee the safety and sturdiness of these EcoBricks. And simply, if you just want to make them, there are loads of places that collect them, so you can also drop them off at your nearest EcoBrick point. Well, we've reached the end of the week and we have a lot more recycling and a lot less rubbish. This weighs about ½ pound, which isn't too bad given that last week we had about 3 pounds of rubbish. What I've learned is where to look for the recycling labels on products, what to do with things that can't be recycled, such as making eco-bricks, but also I've thought a lot more about what I'm doing and been a lot more mindful when I'm using the rubbish bin. One thing I do think, however, is learning about composting, learning about how even when we recycle, gases are still being released into the atmosphere, and perhaps we can be doing a lot more to protect the environment. Recycling is just the start. Perhaps the actual answer is learning to live zero waste. So that is something that I'm going to be looking at probably at a later point, but for now, happy recycling. Honey, I think this is yours.
Thank you very much to Audrey and Brandy there. So we are reaching the end of today's program, but I'd just like to touch on the issue, the subject of what Kim was speaking about, and how successful businesses are the ones that actually solve a problem, first of all, and also somehow give back to the community. Now, bringing this to sort of a normal everyday person, I remember when I was working for an engineering company. I'd graduated, didn't really know what I wanted to do, and I ended up working for this firm. I was working in maintenance, not really anything that I wanted to do. And I remember just going into work every day and kind of dreading it, because I really wasn't enjoying what I was doing. But the thing is, I couldn't think of what I wanted to do. I'm the kind of person that kind of likes to lots of different things. I'm not a person that likes to do the same thing all the time. I like variety. But even then, when I was working for that company, I just didn't have a clue what I wanted to go, the direction, nothing. But another issue was that I was thinking to myself, what is this company all about? I mean, all I'm doing is sort of, when there's something wrong in the building, I'm calling the engineer to go and fix a toilet, or to do this and to do that. And I thought, this job is so unfulfilling. Okay, I was getting my salary at the end of the month, but there was just nothing to it, nothing exciting, nothing. It was just so boring. And like I said, really used to dread going into work. But then one day, I think it was a week before I actually left that job, I was kind of thinking to myself, why am I here? I want to do something different. And it's funny, because just a week after that that thought came to my mind. I actually got invited by the charity where I got help to go and work for that charity. And it was like I jumped at it, not because I hated the job that I was in, but to be able to give back and to be able to work for the place that helped me recover from depression was an absolute honor. I was so happy because I knew there at least I could contribute to something that made a difference. And let me tell you something, it wasn't easy financially, because what happened, I was earning quite good money at the place that I was, and there was scope for for pay rises and everything like that. And basically now when I went to work for this charity, it's like my salary was literally slashed in half, near enough. And I had to learn to adapt to that. But let me tell you something, I was happy to do that. I didn't care that it was less money, because I was so fulfilled in what I was doing. I was happy, I was looking forward to going into work every day. And it was something that I absolutely loved, because I knew what I'm doing, the work that I'm doing now, is actually helping people, is actually making a difference. The same way that I was depressed and everything like that, I am now able, through the work that I'm doing, to be able to help someone else. Now, I'm not saying obviously to everybody that the solution, if you're not happy at work, is to go and leave it all and go and work for a charity. Sometimes it's not realistic for a lot of people, because maybe you've got kids, maybe you have so many responsibilities, so many maybe debts that you need to pay off. So financially it might not make sense, but even still, it doesn't mean that you can't give back in some way. Maybe, you stay in your job, you have your own business, but what can you do outside of that can give back to society, that can help someone? Can you, for example, volunteer a few hours a week to a local charity? Is there something else that you can do? Can you do something for homeless people in your area? See, I think when we give back to someone or give back to society, it does make us happier inside. When we're selfish and all we're thinking about is our own life and progressing and doing things just for ourselves, we end up becoming very kind of miserable. I don't know if you've noticed that, but as soon as you do something for someone, it makes you happy. Even if it's just to, maybe you see a stranger that's looking a bit down and you go up to them and say, is everything okay? Or you try to strike a conversation with someone at work that's not looking great, they're looking a bit down, they look like they need someone to talk to. Just by going there and approaching that person and having a chat with them, it not only helps them, but it makes you happier as well. Well, everyone, we have reached the end of today's program, but if you have a story that you would like to share, please do get in touch by emailing us on info@chrissybshow.tv. You can also tweet or Instagram us @ChrissyBShow, or leave a message on our Facebook page, The Chrissy B Show. And if you'd like to know more about my mental health journey, please visit my personal website, which is mylifeafterdepression.com. Until next time, bye-bye for now.